that had you prove some type of special need in order to get a permit.
The co-chair of the Second Amendment Caucus, Mr. Massey.
That is so incredibly broadly written, it will ban.
It is reported from the Rules Committee against any resolution reported.
And then there's one that Senator Feinstein just introduced, where it's an assault weapons ban.
There's a hearing that you can't be at, your counsel can't be present, you haven't been charged with the crime.
So in California, it was extremely difficult. California had to get rid of that good cause or just cause requirement.
ATF Director's admission of database. All right, folks, let's dive into one heck of a jaw-dropping revelation from the ATF Director, Steve D. talks. Now picture this, a room at Harvard, an audience hanging on every word, and Steve D. talks. The top dog at the ATF takes the stage. And what does he say? Brace yourselves because it's a real game changer. He admits the existence of a database. A database, people! But here's the kicker. D-Talks didn't just spill the beans, he practically shouted it from the rooftops. He made sure to drive home the point that they are the good guys here, and they're playing by the rules. In other words, they're following the law by not having a searchable database. Can you believe that? Now let's unpack this shocker. The ATF has this database, a treasure trove of information about firearms and their owners. But D-Talks wants to make it clear that he's not a typical run-of-the-mill searchable database. Oh no, that would be against the rules, you see. To stay on the right side of the law, D-Talks revealed they are paying Adobe, yes, the company behind your trusty PDF reader, extra money. Why? To do the unthinkable, remove the search function. It's like getting a car with no wheels. You can have it, but good luck moving anywhere. So just to recap, the ATF is dishing out extra cash to make sure their database isn't searchable. It's like they've got this enormous warehouse filled with info on firearms, and they're making it as hard as possible to find anything in there. It's like they've got a key to a locked room with a treasure map inside, but chose to throw the key away. Now, here's where the plot thickens. This admission smacks down previous claims that the ATF only keeps a collection of non-searchable images. You remember those reports, right? The ones suggesting that everything was just a bunch of images? Nothing to worry about, move along, folks? Well, surprise, surprise, turns out that wasn't the whole truth. They've got a database, and it's got a bunch of searchable stuff in there.
I think worse than that, sir. You will see millions of otherwise law-abiding citizens.
Definition. There's no definition on exactly what a assault weapon is.
How many times was this gentleman involved with shooting at people? Let's see what is the most compelling thing to learn from that case.
I'm not sure in total, but it seems like at least.
And said he supports a ban on the sale of assault weapons, which there's no such thing.
And this, my friends, is where the conspiracy theories from the past come full circle. Remember those whispers about the ATF having a searchable database while they insisted it's just a collection of images? Well, D-Talks just confirmed these theories. It's like they accidentally hit the confirm button on all those conspiracy theories. The cat's out of the bag and it's got a database in its paws. In the world of government agencies and their secrets, this revelation is a shocker. It's like peeking behind the curtain and discovering that there's a wizard with a searchable database, and it's not all just smoke and mirrors. Now let the debates, discussions, and eyebrow-raising conversations begin, because we've got ourselves a game changer. Paying Adobe to remove search function. Now let's talk about one of the most jaw-dropping aspects of this whole ATF database revelation. Paying Adobe to do the unthinkable, removing the search function. You heard that right. They're shelling out extra cash to strip Adobe software of its search capabilities. Imagine you've got a car, but you're paying the manufacturer to take away the steering wheel. Isn't that bizarre? And why, you ask? Well, according to Steve D-Talks, they're doing this to follow the letter of the law. In other words, they're attempting to keep their database from being searchable, which, they argue, is a legal requirement. Now, this might sound like a peculiar way of doing things, but it's all about legal gymnastics. The law, as it turns out, is pretty darn clear. Having a searchable firearms registry is a big no-no. So the ATF has resorted to this creative solution. They're rendering their own database practically useless for search purposes. It's like they have a vault full of information, but have locked the door and throw away the key. To get back to the car analogy, it's like they've got the engine running but are paying to have the wheels removed so they can't drive over the legal line. This admission adds a layer of complexity to the whole situation. On one hand, they're complying with the law by not having a searchable database, But on the other hand, they've got this colossal pile of data sitting there, ripe for controversy. Now, picture a gigantic library filled with books, but all the titles are blank and there's no index. You have no way of knowing what's in these books. That's what the ATF's database looks like after they've removed the search function. But here's where it gets even more intriguing.
Tearing apart families and making our streets less safe.
But I guess the other thing, the back door to, well, the assault weapons, absolutely, because there's no definitive definition.
They don't care about that fundamental liberty law-abiding citizens in this country enjoy.
Detox's revelation essentially crushes previous claims that the ATF's records were just a collection of non-searchable images. Remember those reassurances that everything was just a bunch of pictures, nothing to worry about? Well, this new info throws all of that out the window. In essence, they're saying, we've got this mountain of data, but don't worry, it's just a bunch of unsearchable images. Except we now know they're actively taking steps to keep it that way. So the plot thickens, my friends. The ATF has found a way to abide by the law while maintaining a massive database that's intentionally non-searchable. It's like a riddle wrapped in an enigma, all within a complex web of bureaucracy and legality. The revelation of their creative approach to compliance adds a whole new layer to the ongoing debate and raises countless questions about what's really happening behind the scenes. Contradiction of non-searchable database claims. The shocker dropped by ATF Director Steve Detox has left a trail of contradictions in its wake. It's like a plot twist in a suspenseful movie. Until now, the ATF had maintained that their records were nothing more than a vast collection of non-searchable images, seemingly harmless and shrouded in secrecy. But Detox's admission shattered that facade. In essence, the cat is out of the bag. Detox's confession makes it abundantly clear that there's a searchable component lurking within the ATF's database. It's like saying, hey folks, we've got this massive puzzle, and it's not just a jumble of pieces, there's a hidden picture in there, and it can be found. This revelation isn't just a crack in the dam, it's a gaping hole. It raises all sorts of questions about what the ATF has been doing behind the scenes.
We filed formal petitions for rulemaking through the appropriate channels.
Of any semi-automatic assault weapon that was lawfully possessed before the bill became law.
Personally, it's a little bit sketchy there too, because, the last case that the Supreme Court took and rendered a decision on.
Now, when it was originally introduced, it was the worst carry bill that I have ever seen.
A real Second Amendment case was in 2010 in McDonald v. City of Chicago.
It's like finding out that the magician's hat is indeed empty, and there's no rabbit or dove to pull out. Massive volume of records in ATF database. Hold on to your hats, folks, because the sheer scale of what we're about to unravel is mind-boggling. We're diving headfirst into the colossal world of the ATF's database. Brace yourselves. When ATF Director Steve Detox spilled the beans, he inadvertently revealed the mind-blowing fact that their database isn't just some run-of-the-mill collection of a few records. No, it's massive, colossal, and downright epic. We're talking billions of records here. Yes, billions with a B. It's like a library with a collection of books that stretch as far as the eye can see. Except these aren't just books, they're records of firearms, transactions, and all sorts of sensitive information. This database is so vast, it could make your head spin. But here's the kicker. It's not just digital data that's piling up in their servers. No, they've got millions of paper records too. Think about it. Boxes upon boxes filled with paper documents, including scanned forms and records. It's like they've got a mountain of paperwork that never seems to stop growing. To put it in perspective, picture a room stacked high with boxes, and each box is crammed with documents. That's just a glimpse of what the ATF's storage situation looks like. And it doesn't stop there. These records are regularly processed, which means there's a constant influx of new data. It's like trying to bail out a sinking boat with a thimble.
There's a hearing that you can't be at, your counsel can't be present, you haven't been charged with the crime.
Now today, as you all know as well, we're also marking National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
The last case that they rendered a decision in that was tangentially related to the Second Amendment was in 2016.
So in California, it was extremely difficult. California had to get rid of that good cause or just cause requirement.
Which again, you might say, well, how is that objectionable if we're keeping guns out of the hands of the criminals?
Mm-hmm. The magnitude of their data collection efforts is simply staggering. This revelation opens up a world of questions about how this information is managed, accessed, and protected. The ATF's database isn't just a database. It's a sprawling, ever-expanding universe of records that have far-reaching implications for privacy, security, and transparency. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion and discovering that it's an entire onion farm. Validation of conspiracy theories. Hold on to your hats, conspiracy theorists, because the mother of all plot twists just dropped into our laps. Remember all those hushed whispers and clandestine theories about the ATF having a searchable database while they vehemently denied it? Well, brace yourselves, because Steve Detox, the ATF director, just inadvertently hit the confirm button on those conspiracy theories. It's like the X-Files meets reality. The truth is out there, and it's that the ATF does indeed have a searchable database. Detox's jaw-dropping revelation is like the smoking gun in a mystery novel, and it's turned all those wild speculations into cold, hard facts. The conspiracy theorists are probably having a field day with this one, but the implications go beyond just vindicating those.
Contrast that with what Republicans did to address gun violence and crime the last time they were in charge.
And they're turning it into 10 days plus a number of steps that you have to take in order to clear your name.
And there's been quite a few amendments. Well, the last thing to happen just happened yesterday.
Who've long suspected the ATF's hidden secrets. This revelation raises some serious questions about what the ATF has been up to behind the scenes. What else have they been concealing or downplaying? How do they handle this massive trove of data, and are they really complying with the law as they claim? In the world of government intrigue and suspicion, this confirmation of the conspiracy theories is like a revelation of a hidden plot twist. It's proof that sometimes reality is stranger than fiction, and it leaves us all with one burning question. What other secrets might be lurking behind the closed doors of government agencies? That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.